right. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Red Line, an audiovisual podcast designed to eliminate maneuvering a broken healthcare system as a patron, patient, and provider. Restricted access does not have to be restricted resources. You can find all the process platforms. You can find on the process platforms all of our shows, including the process and Behind the Red Line. I'm your host, Alessandra, and please help me welcome my co-host, Rebecca Paplau.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, so we have been off of our live circuit for a hot second, leading up to and through the HSPA 2022 conference in San Antonio.
Woo!
It was a whirlwind.
It was something. It was awesome.
So it was a conference of firsts for sure. It was our first conference as entrepreneurs, but also for Rebecca, wasn't this your first time attending the conference at all?
Yeah, this is my first time ever.
Ever. And we met so many people that it was their first conference.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was, I've been trying to get there for years, but it was always something that just wasn't attainable due to financial constraints or whatever was going on at work. So this year I finally happened on my own. So
right, like it is a happy confluence to have the PTO, have the resources, have the time to dedicate to traveling out there. I know a lot, especially for a lot of SPD folks, it's a lot of money that we don't typically otherwise have to spend, and a lot of our companies are not willing to cover the costs, so it can be cost restrictive at times.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man. But then we were there not only as members and attendees, but as entrepreneurs in our own individual LLCs, and then coming together in this like media company. And then there also as frontline advocates, because a lot of what we do in our media space has been advocating for marginalized people, advocating for emotional wellness, right? So it's like it was wild to put on all these different hats.
Yeah. There was a lot of I found myself like tapping into all sorts of different emotions. Like, I'm so excited to be here. This is awesome. I'm learning so much. I get to meet all these awesome people that I met on LinkedIn over the past 2 years. Like, it was so great to room with Alessandra and Deannard and Selendra.
We got to be roommates.
It was amazing. But then at the same time, I'm meeting all these people from the industry. I'm like, they're like, oh, you're in a room full of they were so honored to be in the same room as you, and I'm like, I'm just Rebecca from who am I,
right?
So there's a lot of like ego checking and a lot of
yes,
like imposter syndrome a little bit, because it's like, hey, I don't sit at this table with you guys, like why am I here?
For
so
sure.
It was a lot
For sure. I felt the same way. A lot of experiences with imposter syndrome, which we've talked a little bit about on the show before. But also even just balancing emotions, right? Making sure that we got an okay amount of sleep, that we were making sure that we were eating and we were drinking water, and working the conference as media, and then experiencing the conference as attendees. It was really challenging to make sure that we were not bypassing ourselves. And sometimes we did consciously sacrifice a lot of sleep. And a couple meals, in an effort to get this mission and this vision out of just kind of spreading the word about emotional well-being, under that process network umbrella. So it was really cool to do that with you.
And hi to everyone in the comments. It's great to see you guys back here too.
Hey, we missed y'all. We missed you guys.
Angie, Trevor, Veronica, Anita, Jake. Hi, Jake. And then there's some Facebook users that I can't.
Anita. Oh my God, Jake, man, I miss you so much. We got to get back in the clubhouse Friday nights. Oh my gosh.
It's Thursday.
Miss you.
It's this Thursday, guys.
Clubhouse this Thursday. Be there. Be square. All right. So yeah, I mean, and even that, like part of it, the dopeness of this experience was meeting other people that have only been a thumbnail to us up until this point, and getting to collaborate with them, right? So, But something else fun that came out of this was that we ended up shooting a behind the red line episode in a completely different format than we've ever
Yeah.
produced before, and it made us change our minds creatively about how we wanted to bring this show to you. So stay tuned throughout this show because we'll be airing that episode, but we will also be making some major announcements about the Process Network, about our expansion, and about how we see the future going here and what we want to be able to bring to you guys. So, all
I
right.
believe that, and Sarah Cruz up in the chat. Hi guys.
Hey, hey, hey to Sarah. Hey, look to my other Sarah. Hello. All right. So before I get to acting too goofy, because I'm still riding my high of the conference, guys. We had so much fun, and there were so many sleepless nights. Um, so it's been a lot of recovery. But with us was obviously my process co-host Deannard Esnard, aka Stereo MD. Who also won Decontaminator of the Year 2020 and received an award at the conference. And was another person that I got to experience this with in a lot of firsts, right? This is my business partner, my brother in arms out here, making sure that we're standing up for people doing things the right way the first time. So that was really cool. And then the last person that was with us was Selendra Barefield, who was a part of the process origin story, right? If y'all don't know her, y'all need to go back to the YouTube, go search for Stereo MD, scroll all the way back to when we first started, and y'all get to see how all of this came together because Selendra helped us connect. So Selendra was with us representing her LLC, Ion SPD, which puts together materials and resources for travelers and SPD techs alike, one-stop shop on her website, ionspd.com. And she's also started a nonprofit in an effort to also do that, to bring in resources for tech so we can pay for their books, help them do whatever they need to do to stay on the road to get to be as a tech. So without further ado, let me bring them.
One quick question. We had a comment in the about, is anybody having trouble with the audio from a? So if you guys are, let us know in the comments. If you're not, let us know in the comments. I think one person said they're not having issues with it, but if you guys are,
keep us posted, because part of what working that conference was looking for sponsors so that we can upgrade this equipment that we have so we can bring more conference coverage, more industry coverage to the industry for the folks that just they're not going to be able to afford to move around and get to these things. Awesome. Thank you guys. Teamwork makes the dream work. Okay. All right. So please let me introduce Miss Selendra Barefield to the stream.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna wait a little bit on. Okay, I like this. It's like Charlie's Angels. Ha. Okay. So I'll wait a little bit because I don't see Deannard over there in the green room.
Okay.
All right. So awesome. Audio's okay. Awesome. So let me scroll over to my questions because especially for you, Miss Barefield, you started Ion SPD what, a year ago, 2 years ago? And go ahead.
Yes, it was about 2 or 3 years
Right?
ago. Give me my extra year, boo.
Give her year. So 3 years ago, she starts Ion SPD, and I only ran into Selendra last year, so about 15 months ago now.
Mm-hmm.
And she had started a podcast. She was also jumping onto other people's podcasts, and I would see her constantly in the comments of the traveler sections, answering questions and helping people out. So she actually was the person that brought me into the Process podcast with Deannard. And then since then, it's just been helping us in the background with anything entrepreneur, LLC, funding, anything we could think of. She's been a one-stop shop. So, Selendra, wasn't it your first time going to the conference too?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
So, what was that like for you? What was that like being there as an attendee?
It was overwhelming for me because I didn't plan. I just kind of jumped right into it. And I guess when I look back over it, I probably should have paid attention to the little booklet they gave us to figure out where everything was, who's speaking, what's where, how to find this or that. So I would say it was overwhelming because of that. And even when we got to the vendor side, I should have mapped out who's where, who do I want to see, and make sure I was able to tackle what I was more interested in first, and then kind of just, lazy walk through everything else. But and then meeting all the different people. And so it was a lot, but it was very interesting.
Man. So for those of you that didn't attend the conference, just to give a little background into what Celindra's talking about, when you register, you get this bag and you get a booklet that has the calendar in it and the booths and where everybody's going to be and at what time. So it really, I think we didn't think about it until like day 2 to open that thing and like plan our day. Because you can't go everywhere, right? Well, there was a lot of stuff that was happening simultaneously.
Yeah, there are a lot of really good speakers that were there. The ones that I wanted to see the most were all the ones that were happening at the same time.
Same time.
Mm-hmm.
Same time. Gosh, there was one particular day where like Sharon Combs and Monique Jokes and like Anthony Bondine and Tracy Davenport were like all speaking at the same time, and I was like, I can't.
We were messaging each other and being like, all right, we're going to hit this room for 10 minutes and then she's going to go here. I'm going to go there.
Yes.
I mean, because from a media company standpoint, where we wanted to provide coverage of all those things for our members that were watching and waiting to see, who was going to be on the stage, but also from an attendee perspective, it was like, I want to be here for the full presentation of these particular folks. And you had to decide.
And it was hard walking out while they were speaking. Like, I want to see a little bit of the other one. I'm like, how do I walk out?
How do I leave? Because it's so good.
Yes.
Man,
Selendra was working. She was holding the mic, answering.
Yes, like working the event, attending the event.
Lady?
Man, we were too excited. Exactly, we were so freaking excited. It was an amazing time. I mean, but also on the contrary, there were times that things were happening simultaneously, and I was like, this is boring.
Yeah,
I know about 400 series stainless steel.
Yeah,
I don't care. Right. So there were some times where it was like, dang, I wish there was more depth happening at this particular time. But this is also a conference that's catering to the entire industry, right? So you have to have content for entry level people, for subject matter experts, for educators, for vendors, and all the in between.
That would be interesting if they ranked it as like entry level, intermediate, and like if in the pamphlets maybe they added a rating or something to help people decide which ones they want to go to. Because some of the ones it's like I went to one of the dental one. I was really excited to learn more about dental stuff, and it was really basic and really like entry level stuff, which is fine, but it wasn't anything new that I,
well, new for you, right? Because it's new to somebody.
Yeah.
It was very big. So I was like, I wish like it could have been, like if there's a ranking system or something. But all the education is so worth it. You learn
so worth it
out of here. Or you learn people that when you have those more advanced questions, you know who to get to and who to talk to about those topics.
Oh man, that part.
So,
because that was like one of the nice things about the networking was you were meeting people from different backgrounds. And so, you would find a water quality specialist that you could have in your back pocket and you could call them or, so on and so forth. So that was really nice. So it was like, even though in one capacity we're working this conference, trying to build relationships and partnerships with these different companies and entities, hoping that they will sponsor, shows or they will help us do some of the outreach work that we want to do out in the field. But also as a technician or as somebody working in the field, being able to build up this lineup of people that you can call at a moment's notice and get some real top-notch information.
Mm-hmm.
Man. But yeah, like running into like Sharon Green Golden getting dropped off at the Hyatt in her Charger, and like like there were all these really cool moments where it's like you couldn't have got this close on LinkedIn.
Yes. We got a special comment from Jeffrey Wilkins. Hello, my amazing ladies of the Process Podcast. Just wanted to express my love for what a fantastic job you did during the HSPA conference. Keep up the good work.
Yes.
And thank you, Jeff, for supplying us food.
Great food.
Because Jeff was there to support us in all the ways that mattered. He kept us fed. He kept us on schedule. He kept us from going too wild at the bars. Like you're still working. Have fun, but you're still working.
Fed and happy. It was wonderful.
So it was good.
But I want to say something before you leave. Sharon Green Golden, she jumped out with the red, the bag, the clothes,
red outfit with the red shoes and the red
swag. What? Okay, I want to tell you something that only she and I know, and this really touched me because that first day we were there, we didn't know they weren't serving lunch. I didn't know that, so I'm out looking for food. Like, where's the food? I thought they had food over here, so I went searching for food, and she saw me in the hallway. I'm like, "Where's the food?" She said, "Well, baby, they don't have food today." She said, "But I have a sandwich. I have half of a sandwich. I ate one half, but you can have the other half." And I'm like, "Really?" So girl, it almost brought tears to my eyes, but I want to say thank you to her today because she gave me something. She didn't even have to let me know it was in her bag. But she knew I was out there. I was looking for something. I needed something. She had it, and she gave me her sandwich that she could have ate later on, baby.
Oh my
God. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
I want to say the same thank you to the HealthMark team because at one point they bought pizza for their crew and they invited all of us over. They let us sit down. They let us have pizza with them. And for us, it was the first meal that we had that day. And I don't know if they remember, but this was very late at night that we were eating this pizza. So yeah, I mean, and they were like, they had water. They brought us plates and napkins. They just were like, come on in, have as much as you like. And it was like, yes, we could have stopped ourselves, for more breaks, but then that would have been content that we missed. And I honestly do not regret a second of it. Don't regret a second of it. But thank you so much. Let's see. Arlene said they were paid outside the conference attendance. Yeah. Some people are paid outside for conference attendance.
Yes.
LinkedIn friends, indeed. Yes, made lots of LinkedIn friends. Good stuff. All right, so it looks like I do have my partner in crime, Deannard Esnard, in the studio. So I want to be bringing him on here in a hot second. But before I do, I got to embarrass him and give him all types of flowers. So we went to the conference, right, as business partners, and we're talking about a conference of first, right? We're showing up there as attendees, as entrepreneurs, as industry advocates. But Deannard also was wearing a couple extra hats that I was not. So he's coming in as being a chapter president in his area. So he had to attend extra chapter meetings that I didn't have to go to. So there were breaks that I got to get that he did not. And same thing, like we kept water in our bags for each other. We kept food and snacks in our bags for each other. We took turns running to get the car and all that good stuff. So it was really a wild time. But at one point he got brought down to the area where the HSPA members were sitting to be given his acknowledgement for Decontaminator of the Year 2020. And especially in the post-conference experience, there's been a lot of talk about the rap contest coming back. So I just wanted to clear a couple things up real quick. The last rap contest they had was at an HSPA conference in 2019, in which my boy Deannard also still holds the title. Now, personally, I'd like to see him get knocked off his throne. So, Halyard, y'all, somebody tag Halyard if y'all listening. Please bring the rap contest back to Nashville 2023 so somebody can put this fool in his place.
Yes.
Please help me welcome Deannard Esnard, a.k.a. Sterile MD.
Sterile MD!
And still.
Oh my God, he bought it?
Man, oh man, please.
And
somebody
the
help
rap
me.
King.
Yeah, right.
Oh, MG.
Hi, Miss Tanya. We will definitely see you in Nashville. Oh my goodness. Yes. So please, y'all please bring back the rap contest so that we can just be done with this.
No. I'll be like Ric Flair, 7 times champion.
Oh God.
So,
welcome, Deannard.
How you guys doing tonight? Anything looking different on me?
I love those.
Yeah,
honey.
I see a couple things looking different on you.
All right.
I see a Voices t-shirt.
Oh, okay.
I'm definitely looking forward to the premiere of that new show on the Process Network.
Yes, honey.
And absolutely checking out these sneakers, which will be coming to our Etsy store soon.
Yeah.
Now,
and on the inside, it's official, honey.
Official.
If any of you guys were hanging out with us at HSPA HSPA, you want to ask Deannard if it smells like teak wood.
Inside joke.
Right, somebody tag Bath and Body Works so we can get our sponsorship.
What does that mean? I don't get it.
Like, I just want to present it as teak wood. That's all.
Teak wood.
That's a very
industry cologne.
manly smell,
Yes.
Scent.
It closes contracts, baby.
So,
that's all.
Yeah, guys, thank you I just want to say thank you for hanging out with me. How many days? 3, 4, 5, 6?
I don't know how many days.
Yeah,
we were delirious.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely, I also thank you guys for coming into the inaugural Process Network Hub House. So one of the things that we hear a lot from people that watch the show is just that these things are cost prohibitive, right? And as a small LLC, not coming in with vendors, we were like, how can we get the same conference experience, be close, have washer and dryer and be able to eat without eating out and all this stuff and lower the cost? We're like, let's partner with these other LLCs. So Ion SPD came in, and mainly, I ain't gonna say the rest of the name, came in, and it was awesome, man. It was awesome. Yep. So where we would have all individually spent maybe $2,000, $2,500 to do that, at the location that it was set, we were able to drive our costs down to a couple $100 and still have even more amenities, right? We had a fire pit. We were able to have private meetings, private conferences, networking and brainstorming events. It was insane.
Yeah, because I couldn't afford a hotel at $200 a night. Hell no.
No.
I don't think many people can. I think that's one of the biggest problems. So thank you to LinkedIn for allowing me to have connections with people and have friends that I can find an Airbnb with.
Yeah. So. 100%. So Angie, y'all, I lost my glasses at the conference. They're still at the conference center. Oh. So Angie says, speaking from all of us unable to attend, I can't thank you enough for sharing so much with us. I lived with my phone in my hand waiting on notification.
Oh, that's nice.
That's what we wanted to do.
That's what it was all about. Yeah. That's what it was all about right there. So we made it through the conference 2022. Who will be at 2023? All right, so we'll definitely be there.
Yes.
As individual LLCs, but also as a crew. And we'll be doing the same hub house concept. So if there are other small LLCs that want to join us, we will collaborate to help rent out houses so that we all can have that same conference experience.
Yes.
Because those hotels are expensive, guys.
Yeah, or even if you don't have an LLC. And you want,
if you're a tech or a supervisor or manager and you want to go, but that's cost prohibitive, please reach out to us so that we can collaborate with you and get you into the house.
Yeah.
So true. And I want to say thank you to all those persons who allowed us to interview them. Kensley, Dante and his partner from
Terry.
Technique. Terry,
Danny,
Marianne Drosnick, Tim from
Coleman.
We have another one. We really can't put it out yet until we approve the content, but we have a couple more. So
a couple more. It was good stuff.
Definitely want to.
Arlene Bush, thank you for allowing us a space to stash our gear and do wardrobe changes. And for having gum and body spray when I needed it.
And body spray.
Okay. And Arlene said, don't forget the scholarships that are out there for the conferences. So absolutely pay attention, guys, because there are scholarships that get offered and several people attended and had their conference costs covered.
Yes.
We got to meet one guy named Gary. So if you look at some of our content, you'll see that. But there are multiple ways to get to the conference.
Yes.
All right, Miss Tanya, she said there will be scholarships from HSPA Foundation. All right, so stay tuned. And I know Ion SPD will probably be doing the same thing, right? So there's going to be even more opportunities for us to get our people there. All right, and then Miss Veronica said, you guys did a great job. It was just like being at the Olympics. You guys are great. Man, let me tell you, my body feels like it was. We were there were times we were running with equipment. It was crazy. All right. So definitely since this is an episode of Behind the Red Line and we focus mostly on emotional well-being, holistic health for the employees, I want to keep it in that range. We will be on the air this Wednesday with an episode of The Process, where we'll cover some hot topics in the news, such as what Ms. Selendra Barefield shared with us this morning, the Kaiser Permanente employee out of Santa Clara that committed suicide. We definitely want to acknowledge that, and we will have a moment of silence for them, and for all of our fellow healthcare employees that we've lost due to suicide, due to accidents, whether they be mechanical or user error. We want to just have a moment and acknowledge our fallen heroes, right? The people that work alongside us. All right, so real quick, I wanted to make a couple of announcements about the process network. As you can see, we got a few friends with us. We're also in the background hoping to be having some partnerships with folks that'll help us with AV, but also rural outreach in the communities, doing education on the front line, helping people navigate the resources they need through places like Ion SPD, because there are challenges that our employees face that as HSPA, we can't necessarily address, right? We can't necessarily address pay in that capacity, but maybe we can through advocacy at the Condrey Institute, or maybe we can through the SPD Education Fund and Ion SPD. So we really want to, wherever we see gaps, try to come in and mend that and offer some relief and resources to our fellow techs.
Yes.
And one of the ways we want to do that is with more free information.
Mm.
And more free resources. All right, so a couple dates. We're going to be changing the way that we do the Behind the Red Line format, and we'll be airing a special episode of that this evening, so keep your notifications on. Okay. But this episode will be the final episode of season 1 of Behind the Red Line. And the process will have its final episode of season 1 this Wednesday. And so we will be taking a little break. We'll be editing content. We'll be building up these new relationships and resources, and we'll be coming back. I know.
Are you crying, Teakwood? Come
I know
on.
it's hard, Teakwood. Hold on, Sterile MD. I know it's hard. But this really is difficult for us, y'all, because if you've been watching the show, we've gone live every week for over a year. And so this will be the longest amount of time that we are not coming to you live consistently. Now, we won't be gone forever. We'll be bringing back season 2 content, and we'll be bringing you conference coverage. So we'll talk some about that. But yeah, we'll be kind for a little while. And then season 2 will start on August 8th, 2022.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
How's everybody doing? Deep breaths. All right. So also some other special announcements. Y'all know last year we had the inaugural 12-hour marathon of the process. So we will be bringing that back for the second year. We're working heavily to bring even more content, even better content through working with some of our sponsors. And of course, we'll be having invitations out to everybody that participated with us last year. Anybody that has some new stuff that they want to bring out. So we had no problems filling 12 hours last year. And I think this time was going to be like really hard to squeeze everything in. But we will be doing that, which will be the first day of SPD week this year, which is October 9th. All right. So October 9th, we'll be kicking off the 12-hour marathon. But especially now that we can all come back outside with each other. Right. Hey, welcome back. We decided to also do a little family day that Sunday. So we'll have some more details coming to you about what that'll look like, and how you guys can host an event in a city near you. But we will host a virtual component and a in-person component of just a little family kickback, kicking off SPD week as we get started and head into our 12-hour marathon.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Right?
Little meaning 500 and up.
What'd you say?
Little meaning 500 and up.
Hey. Hey. And then, of course, Sunday is family day, but that Saturday, that SPD week ends on the 15th. We want to do something a little more grown, a little
Okay.
more sexy. So we thought about having just again some process hosted cocktail events or maybe some dinners for the process family to get together in a city near you and just enjoy each other's company. Because one of my favorite things about the conference was those moments where we got to just have dinner together or
Yeah.
sit and talk to each other, and it was just so nice.
Yes.
Yay!
Yes.
All right, so now we'll have more details, dates, times, and all that good stuff coming to you soon. And so with season 2 coming back on 8/8, the first folks you'll see is the new season of Behind the Red Line. And then 8/10/22 will be the first new episode of season 2 of The Process. And then we will be debuting finally the first premiere episode of Voices. So that will be airing on 8/14.
Oh,
Yeah.
voices.
Voices.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Deannard, how you feeling about it so far? He's been
What
shooting a lot of content so far.
can you give us a synopsis of
Yes.
What is it?
Please. I'm thinking like voices from where?
Because it doesn't include me, guys, so I don't know anything about this show.
Where's voices coming from?
I don't want to give everything away. So, Voices is like a interview, right? But instead of going to straight to, hey, what do you do? And at the point of life that person is right now, we go from where you were born, how you were raised, your community, how did that affect you to become the person you are right now? So we're gonna do basically a whole life um biography
Nice.
of the interviewee. Yes. So we're gonna go through where did you grow up, what did you eat, how was your school life, what school did you go to, your parents, your family, that whole thing, and then how did you end up being successful where you are right now, or in life where you are right now. So basically that is it. That's the difference between the voices and just a regular industry interview.
Absolutely. You get to know the
That's
whole person.
Yeah.
Right. And my favorite part about the concept is he's starting to take a look at people that are not necessarily in our field, right? That might be connected to us,
Good.
but that can show you some different pathways of places you can go, right?
Yes.
So it's been pretty cool. Kind of just hearing the concept, and as I meet people, I'll tell like I think you should interview them, but I don't know who's actually getting interviewed. So I definitely want to shout out this young lady I met at the conference. I'm gonna see if I can find her name in my phone. So she worked for guest services at the Gonzalez Convention Center, and she stopped me at one point and she asked me what like how are you doing, what's it like, and I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing, like this place is clean, like the food's pretty good, people are so nice. And she's like, oh my god, well I work in guest services, like thank you for this feedback. But she started telling me how she came up into her role, right? And that she had worked as a server and had basically, through doing her job well consistently, had somebody come through one of the big wigs and they offered her position. And since then, she's been able to create this career for herself as an executive of this convention center. So it was just like, man, like that's it. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about people that work hard, that come from backgrounds where they do have to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, and they demonstrate that it's possible. It's not always easy. And there's better ways that we can support them, but it does get done.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. All right, so this was not a question that I gave you guys previously, but especially knowing that we focus on emotional well-being, I have to ask, what was it like for you experiencing Shiloh, the last keynote speaker that talked about his experience with attempting suicide, but also with just giving all these tips on how to manage your emotions and keep yourself in the game?
For me, it was interesting. It kind of rough because it took me back down my path of one of my last jobs where it was such a toxic workplace where there were times where I had those thoughts driving home from work. It's not fun when you get, and I've always been someone that suffered from depression on and off my whole life. So when it's enhanced by a toxic workplace, it brings you to a very dark place. So hearing that him was quite it brings you back, but it's also good to hear how people get through it. And he gave us some toolbox. I don't know. He gave us some information on how to sign up for his toolbox via email. So to me, that was really insightful. But I really liked the way he spoke. Is so relatable, and just being in weird situations with tough people and egos and how to navigate those weird feelings. Like, it was really inspirational and kind of made me feel normal. Like, all these feelings that I'm feeling are justified. So
definitely. Definitely. So for those of you that didn't attend the conference, Shola Richards was our keynote speaker as we were exiting. And he works in the field as an executive coaching and counseling group. So he was able to offer us a lot. And what I found truly impactful outside of the toolbox that he gave us, or even just the fact that he shared such a personal story, because he didn't have to. I mean, he could have gave us all that information without telling us his story, right? But I think it was more impactful because he did, and he told us that there were several men that came up to him afterwards that were crying and that were, just able to have a safe space because he opened up like that, and I just thought that was really powerful.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And as Sarah says, be the buffalo, not the cow.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So that was definitely. I'll remember that forever. That's a nice, easy.
Right, and just
saying.
easy to keep in your mind.
It was basically the buffaloes head right into the storm, and the cows seek shelter. Right, the basic summary of that.
Yes.
I'm glad you explained that because I didn't get it. Okay.
Yeah, no. So
like,
at least from the way that I remember it, it was like if a storm is rolling in towards you, right, and the cow's trying to run, then they're always going to stay right ahead of the storm, and they're going to stay in it the longest, right? Okay. But the buffalo, he was saying, turns around and faces it, so the storm is passing over the buffalo, and the buffalo is moving through the storm.
Okay.
Gonna get to the clear skies faster, right? Yes. By just turning around and facing your fears. And we did a lot of that. Because dang, like, how much imposter syndrome did y'all feel kind of jumping into some of these rooms and, feeling like you didn't really belong there?
It was terrible.
Even though you're being invited. Like, there were so many people that were excited to see us, and I was like,
I'm just Rebecca. I'm nobody. But it was
I'm nobody.
And it was my first time networking with people. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to have this conversation with you, but I don't know how to have a professional, like, I've never really networked before. So I'm fumbling, I'm stuttering, I'm forgetting what I said. And I'm like, all right, now they think I'm an idiot. So.
And then for me, it was the business cards, because Rebecca and I, we had a pact with each other, like, okay, now we came with all these business cards. We can't leave back with all these business cards, baby. We got to give them out to somebody.
Oh,
and then it was like, day one, did you give out any? No. All right, I'm going to do it tomorrow. So at some point, I just started putting them on tables. I was like, I got to get rid of them, even if I don't end up talking to somebody, one-on-one. It's like, we got to make a move. So yeah, I was uncomfortable about handing out business cards.
Oh gosh. I mean, even some of the fun stuff was uncomfortable. Like, we were on the floor, we held a contest for a sponsor we were working with, and I'm doing this on my own, trying to find a person, right? I don't see a person. So I'm like, oh, there's Peplau. And she has on exactly what I need, right? So like, you win. And she's like, I never won anything before.
No, I never.
She had like a whole minute. She's like, wait, are you punking me? Or like, are you just doing this for the spot? I'm like, no, like, literally, I looked around. I can't find anybody. You have the thing on. You win. She's freaking out.
So shout out.
She was freaking out. All right. The intentional networking presence. Man, it was real, right? That's why I'm definitely so excited to bring you guys this pre-recorded interview that we did as we were wrapping up the conference, especially because that's a lot of what we were talking about was how do you show up at this thing, and retain your authenticity, right? But also sometimes I'm being a mascot for somebody else. Sometimes I'm standing up and representing myself. Sometimes I'm standing up and I'm representing the industry. And how do I make sure that those things don't blend? And I'm not taking advantage of anybody. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
That's a lot. So, Selendra, especially for you, you have a nonprofit arm now that you're trying to
Okay.
outfit for you, right? So, can you talk to us a little bit about what that SPD Education Fund looks like?
Oh God. Okay. So the purpose is really to educate, not really honestly, only solely in sterile processing. And that's why when we talked about voices, it really spoke to me, I guess, because it talks about the whole person. So you may want to leave sterile processing. And it's like, how do you pivot? What other skills do you need? Maybe you want to get into the Lean Six Sigma, something I'm always talking about. Maybe you want to get more into negotiation. Maybe you want to get more into manufacturing. Maybe you want to learn sales. Whatever it is, I think information and education or money shouldn't be the reason why you can't do it. So whether we getting you in sterile processing or we helping you transition out, I think all the information should be there for you, and money shouldn't be a reason. Just like we said, the conference, money shouldn't be a reason why you can't go to that conference, AORN conference, or any other conference that's dealing with management. Maybe you want to get into management. They have management conferences and you want to go, you should be able to go.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much my purpose and my goal and my dream is to make sure that those things don't get in the way from you being the best person you can be, whether you're a sterile processor professional or you just Selendra Barefield.
Shit, 100%. Sorry, excuse my French. Because it's that basic to me. And one of the things that, for as much fun as I had, there were also some things that I regretted not seeing at the conference, which, we could talk about those things another time. But, even just certain people that I see in our industry and in our sphere of influence who are doing work for free, like the process was doing. Nobody sponsored us. We did not that nobody would have, but we really wanted to make sure that we weren't mixing too many things at the same time. And our primary thing was we're showing up as the Process Network, and we're showing up to cover this for our people to watch. Therefore, I don't want to be beholden to anybody's image, right? I don't want to have to not say something I would normally say because we're being paid for by a sponsor. So we made a conscious decision to come in there in that way. However, there's a lot of us in that space that otherwise should have been here. Maybe you could say should have been here, but couldn't have otherwise afford to come. So, I want to see to it that the process. Anytime that we have a hub house, like you guys said, that techs are able to come, supervisors are able to come, managers are able to come and cut the cost. Because no way should we have had a family reunion and a Tiffany Darville, Veronica Holder, and Angie Holland were not there. And I mean they're like being ushered across the main stage because the stuff that these people are doing for free for marginalized communities is the stuff that we all need to be doing. You know what I mean? So, and we're all trying to do in different and various ways, but for whatever way, they're doing it for free and it's resonating. It's resonating with our industry. And so, there's not going to be another conference that we attend in which folks like that aren't going to be able to go. So that was really impactful for me, just the people I saw there, but also the people I didn't see there. Especially from this internet cousin's perspective, because dang.
You have to make it more accessible, because it's like, even if your company pays for a portion of it or a full ride, either way, like a lot of your companies aren't going to pay for it. And the only way I made it happen this year was because of my tax return. I'll be completely honest with you guys. And that plane ticket alone was a lot.
And it's like, yes, we are that valuable, right? We're worth the flight, we're worth the ticket of insurance, we're worth all those things. But also, especially from a manager standpoint and kind of coming out of that space, I know my techs need that money for other stuff. I know that they have bills that are going unpaid. I know that they have little leagues that are not going to get it signed up for if I'm charging them, $400, $500 to come and have an experience with me. And that's real. We're all adults. We have to pick where we're going to choose to spend our money, right? But
and then for some, like I know a couple people that I met that were in a similar situation to me. Like I have multiple sclerosis, right? So I have FMLA. And my PTO is constantly low, right? Because I have to go out sometimes. So going unpaid for a couple of those days, right? So we feel the burn there. So.
All right, I can't tell who this is because you got to go give permissions to StreamYard. But it says we have to make the adjustments to be there and represent when, when and whom we advocate for. 100%. And don't get me wrong. I mean, even for the price of HSPA, for the experience that you're getting, that's not a expensive ticket. You know,
Right.
and it's a lot of sponsors that go into driving the cost of that down.
Yes.
So I mean, all of these things are true, right? And it's still too expensive for some of our members.
Yes.
So we have to find some different ways to reach them.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So definitely one of the things that we got to experience was just sharing the house together. And I'm curious how that changed relationships for y'all because we were friends and friendly, right, as we built our relationships and business online. But I personally feel like staying in the hub house changed everything.
Oh, yes. It definitely changed everything. Oh, yes. It definitely did that.
So, again, being that BTRL is about how we fill up our cup, what was truly like soul enriching about sharing the house together?
That all you guys were so positive and loving, and just everyone just was so mindful of each other's space and time. I didn't feel like, and I'm high strung. I have a lot of anxiety, so I'm like in my head, I'm like, oh God, I got to get this done. I got to go. But with you guys, I didn't feel like that. I was like comfortable actually taking my time.
Yeah.
So.
For sure. I didn't feel pressure like I'm not a clean freak. It was like everybody was balanced, you know, because there was somebody that was cool with cleaning up. There was somebody that was cool with cooking.
Yes.
There was somebody keeping us on schedule and making us go to bed. So it's like it helped.
We vibe. We were the perfect fit, honestly.
Oh man.
So we're thinking of going live, like the real world conference show.
Yeah.
I think that would have been some fun stuff. We should have gone live from the house. We did a few like lives on Facebook, like while we were cooking dinner and having some drinks and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that would have been a good time. The fire pit conversation alone was some good stuff.
Fire pit.
Veronica has a question.
Yes. So Veronica says, how do you go about getting information about scholarships from different vendors? So I'm hoping that there's still folks like Miss Tanya Lewis. I know Sarah B. Cruz is in the audience. If there are any HSPA folks that can tell the members how they would hear about or know about these scholarships, that would be great. If they don't pipe up, Veronica, don't worry, we will find out.
I think Ion SPD has some information on that too.
Do you, Selendra, scholarships for the conference?
Yeah, it's gonna be me.
All right.
Oh, okay. Well, I had to send that off. It's gonna be me. That's what it's gonna be. I'm gonna figure it out, and I'm gonna bring one person with me. Period. Point blank. Hold me to it. For real. I can pull that off.
Awesome. We will hold you to it.
We gotta figure out how you qualify now. I don't know how you're gonna qualify for it.
Because we ain't sending just any.
We ain't gonna just have any everybody.
You know, because I thought that was the most interesting thing about the conference was like this is a place that you're coming to develop yourself professionally, right?
Yes.
So it's not just any old tech that's coming to this thing. It's people that really want to advance themselves either in a business way or, you know, networking within the industry. But they want to learn more, but they also wanted to do more.
Yes.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. So I can figure out one part of it, whether it's the housing pieces I can pay for, or we can just do the plane ticket, or it's to get them in the conference. Because I know you can bring somebody along, but I think you can't get your CEUs or something. So you bring them along for $200. You can add on a person.
Oh, yeah, those companion passes. Oh, absolutely. So the companion passes, when somebody pays full price, you can bring somebody along for a reduced rate. But the issue is they don't get the CEUs. But however, for folks like us, as Angie said, these SPD heavy hitters are these people that soak up all the free education anyway.
Yes.
We don't really need them.
No.
We want to go to the conference, right? So I think that's a great way to kind of hack it.
We can definitely figure that out.
And then Marie Brewer says there are scholarships available annually on the HSPA webpage. There are several companies that advertise scholarships as well. So keep your eyes out, guys. This year I brought one of my colleagues by using HealthMark points.
Mark is
Okay.
on it, baby.
Thank you for saying this before I'll let Selendra Barefield go. So if your company buys anything from HealthMark, they have a education fund that turns your dollars into points, and you can use those points towards buying books or paying for conference fees. And there's a whole paying for tests. There's a whole gamut of stuff. This is not a sponsored ad by HealthMark, although we'd appreciate it as a sponsor. But this is one of my favorite free things in the industry. So, and my understanding is they calculate it for the time that you spending money. So even if you don't know you have it, go ask your rep how many points you have in your bank. I promise you probably got something.
You're right about that. I just saw that today, Alejandra. That's some good. That's good.
And they've been doing that for years.
Yeah,
I love that.
No, to today.
We buy our department textbooks.
Yes, I bought my whole when my team worked together. We worked under a SPD director, and there was a couple of managers and educators, and we got together and we made an entry level program for one of the top hospital systems, and we got all the books paid for by those HealthMark points. So none of our students had to pay for books. And they were able to make their own notes, and they were able to keep them. And because of the amount of stuff that we bought from HealthMark, we were always going to be able to afford to give our students fresh books. So it was really cool. Because y'all know, especially if you're an SPD nerd, you keep that book and you go back to it all the time.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So she said, is this for techs or managers? Those HSPA scholarships were for anybody in the industry, is my understanding, if you work in the field. So techs, or I think you qualify. Marie said yes, and the HealthMark points accumulate quickly. Yeah. And I mean, again, so this is not a sponsored ad, but for my person, this is what I did. Let me just say this. If there was something that I could buy from somewhere else, but HealthMark had it, that always helped me make my choice to go buy it from them, because I got the points. Yeah. So it was like, if it doesn't matter if I get this rag from one or the other, then I'm going to get it from over here because I also get the points from my people.
And like, to be fair, like, again, this is not an ad for HealthMark.
It's on that.
But
that is a cool program.
Like, we saw some microscopes and some data, like tracking supplies that they had at their exhibit, and they make them so affordable that every department could buy it. Like this microscope that was $300.
Yeah. So you're not sitting there dying for capital funds that you're never going to get approved for, because it's the thing is for $5,001.
And when so many of the IFUs now require visual inspection, especially with your flexible endoscopes.
Yeah. Well, heck, with that ST91, that was one of the things that floored everybody. Was what? You want me to buy what?
Well, yeah, but like not even just borescopes, but just visual inspection on the outside of those scopes. The way that they're $300. Anybody, come on now.
Yes, so agreed.
I appreciate HealthMark for the value that they put on education as well as affordability, so that we can do it right.
The first time.
not an ad. I'm just impressed with the quality.
Not an ad. It was just really cool, and that's, as a manager, that's one of my favorite tools. And if anybody knows of other programs like that, or anything like that the industry offers, please do let us know, because I'm happy to share that with the industry.
Or if any companies, sorry to interrupt, if any other companies were thinking about doing it, were on the fence about doing it, please.
Yes.
Please do that. We need help. These, they're not always going to approve our dollars, so we need the help. Selendra, where can people find you? Where can people find Ion SPD, and what resources do you offer?
IonSPD.com. It's a hub. I consider it my hub. It's nothing like it, because it connects you to everything and everybody else. So you don't have to Google search. You don't have to put, look in the search engine on Facebook or LinkedIn for what you're looking for that relates to sterile processing. You go there, I already have it. So I'm going to save you time. So it's a great resource. And if you see anything on there that you want me to add to or tweak about it, I can definitely do that. But it's all free and it's all for you. I did it for you, and it came from my pain points, and it came from me trying to answer my own questions, and it came from years of research. So I really would love for you to go there, because I put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, and that was what I wanted to highlight, was that this LLC has been around for 3 years. And she's been gathering data on her own all that time, collected it into this little suitcase for you. So all of the SPD podcasts and shows that you never heard of are listed
Yes,
there.
they're there.
Resources you don't even know you need are over there.
Yeah.
Like she had this time management calendar. It's got my life together.
Oh, yeah.
It did.
Just do it for the culture.
Do it, please.
I gotta go because I'm graduating on I'm graduating on a Zoom call.
Please tell us what you're graduating with tonight.
Girl, what is it? What am I doing? It's some kind of certificate in life coach certificate from Morehouse. That's why I got this on. Morehouse School of
Yeah.
Medicine.
All right.
I have to wear this in a white
I
shirt.
on SPD will be offering life coaching and mentorship
Yes,
in a
honey.
hot second. Thank you for coming on with us and congratulations. Have
Thank
fun
y'all
at
for
your
having me.
graduation tonight.
Thank you.
See y'all.
Congratulations.
See you,
Bye.
family. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to take you
Oh
off.
wow. You just want to cut me out. Ooh.
No, we don't like that. That doesn't work for us.
We had another comment from Marie that says, during SPD week, stock social media industry sites because there are scholarships and raffles for conference fees too.
Yes, and also want to highlight that Tanya Lewis said yes. These are for techs and managers. Love this tip from Marie Brewer and Angie Holland. Yes, Ion SPD, great tool. Post the information on department boards. Your techs will appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. That was cool. That was one of my favorite things too. Was we met so many new schools we haven't interviewed before, and they were like, we want to bring this show to our students, and I thought that was just
Yeah. And shout
nifty.
out to all the diehard listeners of all the shows. We appreciate
Yes,
you. People
we
coming up to
appreciate you.
me and telling me how much they like the show, how much they appreciate what we do, and I appreciate
Right.
it.
So since I have you both, like, what was that like? Kind of being like a social media celebrity of some sort.
It was weird, but like just because I was so excited to see everybody else that was there.
We were fangirling a lot.
I was fangirling hard, especially
a lot.
And back to Healthmark. But
Gosh.
it's just one of those things. It's like it's hard to recognize that like everybody has a voice. Like I started with
and everybody's like real people.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. Our community is small, guys. Get your voice out there, and we're all equally as important. I'm not better than you. I think that literally all it takes is to start being active on social media, and we're such a small community that your voice is going to be found and heard.
Yeah, definitely.
But it was hard because I just felt like I suffer from, I don't have strong confidence. I have self-esteem issues. I'm quiet. I'm shy, but I had a hard time, but I was pushing through it, trying to navigate. Like, hey, by the end of the week, I was like going up to people in the morning, like, "Good morning, sir. What's going on?" Like,
definitely that. Like by the time we got to Shola Richards, we were literally like, "Hi, this is Behind the Red Line, and you're being recorded." Like he was so cool.
Yeah.
We had such a really nice conversation with him and my dancing queen Tammy. So shout out to you, girl. Hope we see you in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So really quickly, as we start to wrap up this episode of Behind the Red Line, I want to remind everybody we will have a special prototype show airing tonight that will give you a little taste of what season 2 of Behind the Red Line is going to look like. Season 2 is going to be coming to you August 8th, 2022. Also, SPD week, that Sunday, the process will be hosting a little family kickback. Bring out the kids, kick out the grill, and spend some time really celebrating each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since y'all keep complaining about that pizza.
Yep. And a lot of people complain that we don't do anything outside our department. So this gives you a chance to, take those scrubs off, put on your shorts, t-shirts, your process voices, or your Behind the Red Line t-shirts, and come out to support. And we're also looking for definitely our vendors to come out too. Let me see my vendors in the shorts, barbecuing and having a good time.
Have a nice little family event where we're not all screaming at each other to get that tray in the room on time. And then, of course, SPD week is October 9th through the 15th. So that's Sunday through Saturday. And that Saturday, the process will have just another little soiree, little kickback cocktail hour so we can kind of let our hair down on the weekend and enjoy each other. All right.
And we
So,
have some more planks coming, guys. So get
ooh,
ready.
oh
Get
yeah,
your abs in shape.
yeah, more planks are coming. Yay! Yeah,
What
we were
time?
fangirling, Sarah. We were fangirling.
What time can everyone expect the special presentation tonight?
All right. So I'm gonna hop off here and make sure all the technicals is working well. So don't go anywhere, y'all. Keep the notifications on. Eh?
Mm-hmm.
And we will get that episode out to you tonight. The process will be having a hot topics episode on Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Oh no, 7, yes. 7 p.m. Eastern time. Look, we got too many shows on the network now. All right.
Yay!
The process sneakers are coming to an Etsy store near y'all. Hey, Jesse. Oh my God, Jesse Lopez.
Yeah, he was one of the ones that was like, I'm in the room with all these great people. I'm like, what about you, sir? Like,
You, sir.
I'm standing next to you.
He
So
filled up his room where he gave his presentation.
amazing. We got to see
Um,
video of Jesse like washing his hands and comparing it to a decontamination process, followed up by a video of him scrubbing his head in the shower. So
Come on. He had footage of his car being cleaned in his presentation. It was so cool. But yeah, it was really cool to get to see Jesse again go from LinkedIn, stir that pot, Instagram, stir that pot, to presenting on decontamination on the main stage. And for me, especially, I had a fangirl moment as we watched all the folks come up to him after his presentation and just get that connection and that deeper conversation. And um there were so many texts that because they heard his presentation they were going to stay in the game. They were like, look, this stuff was really starting to get on my nerves, but you put it into a perspective that makes me feel like I'm not alone, I'm not the only one doing this. So it was just really really nice. Come on, man, take your flowers because you did the thing. So it was really cool. All right. All right. So as we wrap up, I do want to ask post conference because again we talk about emotional well being on this show. And I know we're doing a lot of post conference talk, but that was a special thing that happened. But how has it been for y'all as we finish all the excitement of traveling and staying in the hub house together? How has it been coming down emotionally and like regulating back into your everyday life?
for me, it's been hard. Like, no lie, like it took me a while to just like rest up. And then like the following day, I came back Thursday night, and then Friday I had to be down at my job for a treatment. So I popped into my department after that, and I was rejuvenated and excited to like bring back all of this knowledge. But then like over the weekend, I was just like, man, I don't want to go back. I just want to keep doing like education and learning things. And
Yes.
I don't know, I was a little depressed. I was like, I miss my SPD family. Like, weird. Stuff. I didn't want to go back to normal routine. I wanted to be
No,
back learning stuff and connecting with people and all that. So
definitely didn't want to go back to normal.
Oh, well.
I missed the air bed.
Oh
But
God, I missed the
That's a
Airbnb
good one.
shower.
That's a good one. Well, for me, I don't know if you want to hear my opinion or you just want to move on.
Yes.
yes.
No.
So me, it was normal because I work a lot, so I'm always in doing something. Plus, we had some videos to edit, and I had to go to work, come back.
Yeah, you
It
didn't really
was
get a
normal.
break.
Yeah, it was normal, just normal life. Plus, I went to FIME last year, so I'm accustomed to not getting much sleep, coming back, going to work. I don't really take much time off, so
Yeah. You
that's the life.
look, we're gonna have to do an episode on that too about rest,
Yeah.
relaxing.
And when I came back, I was more thinking strategically, not how much rest I would get, but how do I get this content out in a meaningful way? How do I edit properly? How do I thank my those people I met
Yes.
at the conference, and how to follow up, which is a important thing. You guys need to we need to do a show around following
Oh,
up.
definitely following up.
I also think that it was like Jesse said, it did kick things up emotionally a notch.
Mm-hmm.
I felt more inspired to get things done that I wanted to do. Like things involving like personal goals with an LLC that I'm working on. So it's kind of one of those things to give me that that swift kick in the rear.
Yeah.
So it was, I think, because we all go through burnout or just like day to day thing. I think that these types of events, even if it's a day event, like sometimes they can just give you that spark of
Yeah.
inspiration. To
Oh
help.
gosh, yeah. Somebody, Natalie Lynn, was giving her presentation. I think it was on the last day, and something that she said in her speech triggered an idea in my mind. And so because we're there, I'm able to text this person. I'm like, I think we should collaborate on this thing because we could do this. And that was cool. It's something that I hadn't thought about at all prior to the conference, and had I not attended and heard that in real time, not only hearing it from her in real time, but also having this person that I'm networking with that's here in person. It demonstrates their skill. It helps you think about each other in a different way, or even just how to utilize each other or how to best support each other. So it was really, really cool. A really cool experience.
And let me say one thing for those persons who feel, well, if you go to the conference, you have to have extra money and extra this. Sometimes you just gotta invest in your future,
Yeah.
and the conference is a good way of doing that. When I bought my first tickets for the conference, I was still an intern. So I've been going for this was my 10th conference, and I paid out of pocket for 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, guys,
Wow.
if you want to invest in yourself and grow, the conference is one of the best places to put your money.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. We definitely looked at every dollar we spent as an investment, either in our equipment or our marketing or our branding or our services. However, you wanted to calculate it up because it all goes towards this production, and this production is done on behalf of uploading the industry. So it really it really changed my perspective on even just getting out to these things, because like before we were like, oh, I don't know if we're going to be able to swing, scrub off, we're going to be able to swing CCSA in Vegas, if we're going to be able to go back to farm in Miami. Now it's like those dates are on the schedule, we will be there. How are we going to make this happen, and there were so many people that swooped in to be like, we will help you, we will help you do that. So I thought that was really cool. Really cool. All right. So that being said, thank y'all for hanging tight with Behind the Red Line with me and Rebecca as we conclude season 1. There will be a special episode dropping tonight, so keep your notifications on. Thank you to the Process Network and to everybody that's decided to come on with us and to do this work in the field, real time, with the people that matter. We love you for it. It's not easy, and not everybody sees everything that y'all doing in the background. I think it's powerful stuff. It's what's gonna move this industry.
Put it down.
Oh my God. And yes, please
Don't
don't forget to tag Halyard and any HSPA official you can. Tell
August
them we need a rap contest 2023 so somebody can take the throne from Stereo MD.
and August 8th will be
Never.
returning, right, with season 2. August 8th.
Yes. August 8th,
August
we will
8th.
be returning with season 2 of all the Process Network shows.
Mark it on
So
your calendar.
be on the lookout for the shows like Behind the Red Line and The Process, but also some new content such as Voices, and hopefully a couple other shows that you may not be familiar with joining the Process Network as we kick off season 2. So thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody that watched the shows. Thank you to everybody that supported us, everybody that gave us a sandwich, a bottle of water, a piece of gum, a place to lean on. We appreciate you.
And to all those people who saw us for the first time and came up to us, that meant a
Yes.
lot.
It
That
meant
definitely meant, instead of walking by and looking
everything.
sideways, you'll actually
Yes, because I
made
mean, a
the
lot of
effort.
y'all was like,
Yeah.
and that's cool.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you to everybody that came up, because it did something to us, for us, to
Yeah.
know that y'all watch the show and it matters and it helps you. The Colmed crew told us that they saved money on their flights after watching the tip episode. I was like, yeah. So it was cool. Very cool. All right. So
And I
stay
did luck
tuned.
out with my rental too, guys. So
Yes, thanks. The rental saved us so many Uber trips. Thank you to everybody that taught me how to ride the scooters. Those were
Oh, you
also
rode a
very.
scooter?
I rode a scooter.
Oh my goodness, I didn't see that.
And look out for the Process family. So I will be speaking at the excuse me. I will be speaking at the CCSA virtual conference on May 21st with Kevin Anderson. So y'all will see us there. The Process crew will also be providing conference coverage at the CCSA event in Vegas, which is in July. So check that out, guys, because it's usually a weekend. So you don't even have to get PTO and all that fun stuff. So check that out. There will be a hub house. So if you're interested in joining us in the hub house, send us a message and we'll look out for you on that. What else? Where else are we? Dallas in June at the Scrub Ball. We are looking for 8 people to help us fill up the tables. If you buy the tickets as a group of 8, it's a little more affordable for some of our technicians. So I know I found one person that was down to ride with us and our crew, but I'd love to fill up a table, maybe 2 or 3 if we can, with Process Network folks coming in. So yeah, man, look out for us. Look out for us. We'll be a little bit of everywhere.
We have some big things coming.
I
Where
agree, Jesse.
we don't have the bomb yet.
We don't have the bomb on this show. All right. So thank you again to Selendra Barefield for joining us tonight. Thank you to Deannard Esnard for coming on with us. Thank you to my wonderful co-host, Rebecca Peplow.
Thank you guys.
Whoop whoop. All right. We will see y'all August 8th with season 2 of Behind the Red Line.
Thank you all. And if you have any input, anything you want to see on the show, anything deep that you feel you want to hear about, feel free to reach out to us. Send us an email, send us a comment with your input.
Please. We appreciate it.